I want to introduce everybody, give everybody a platform.
Capturing you right now?
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? I know because it's 360. I don't even know how they do it, but the camera can somehow see me.
And me at the same
It can
time?
see you too. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't.
This is not the camera I thought it was.
Word,
That's
word.
the same company.
That's but word. Okay, so my name is Tiago. I'm an artist. I do a bunch of things. I do event curation, so that's my main thing. Clothing brand. I'm excited to connect with y'all. Find me at This Is Art, Get Over It, and I'm gonna pass it to Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I do fashion design, photography, videography. I also like to do different events with Tiago, and we work a lot on stuff.
You guys are friends?
Yeah, brothers.
That's hard.
Hi, my name is Amaria. I'm a photographer and I do painting as well. I also am trying to launch a podcast next year. So,
I'm Jason. I'm a rapper, videographer, and graphic artist. Just trying to world build out here, connect with people, make art exist, live, feel. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? My name is Drew, but my artist name is Son of Jojo. I'm a musician, engineer, multifaceted, genre-bending artist from the Bronx. Here with my homies and some new homies that we just met. But we're part of a collective called Babyface. It's a multi-genre music. We do videography. We host events, concerts, everything. So yeah, just trying to like dabble our hands in everything and try to, leave our mark on the New York scene and also just create like community. So it's really dope to be here with y'all right now, like on some real shit. Yeah.
I'm Jordan. I don't think you can see me. Anyway, I'm Jordan. I'm an artist composer and I like Ethiopian food.
I'm Justin, but you guys could call me Spec. That's also my artist name. I'm an artist. I draw. I also produce music. Right now, I'm working on a comic book titled Rat City. It's on Webtoon if y'all want to check it out. But yeah, it's a comic book. Yeah. Facts.
Hey guys, my name is Trisha. You guys call me Trish. I come from a journalism background. I worked as a reporter, but I sang when I was younger and I would love to sing again and perform. I'm trying to put a band together, so I need this. I'm gonna put a band together. Yeah. I'm gonna put a band together. I really love this space. I think we need more spaces like this, more community. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, divas. Okay. So I'm Amanda. I'm if one thing I learned today, I would call myself a communicator. One thing that I'm really passionate about is what I'm doing in grad school right now. I'm looking at a lot of research about like social media and the impacts that it has, and it's been really interesting. I like to talk a lot. I'm a yapper. But yeah, that's basically it.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia. Nice to meet y'all. I just moved here to New York, so I'm a new artist on the scene. I do poetry and nonfiction as well as photography, and in fact we're gonna take a photo right after this with my camera, just to let y'all know. It's so nice to meet everyone, and I need to get all y'all's Instagrams. LinkedIn too, yeah. Nice to meet y'all.
No, I don't use that. Word. So let's get that photo. And then I want to know more about the podcast. I want to know more about the whole collective y'all got. I want to know more about the comic book. I want to know more about the songs that you used to write. I want to know about what you're researching. And you gotta share what you do with the clothing too. Yeah. And then put me on some Ethiopian food too. You know what I'm saying? Put me on. Okay, so let's get that photo. Are we all gonna be in that?
I don't know if we're all gonna fit, but I'm gonna try, hopefully.
Thank you. Hey, we got that. Word. Okay. Type shit. Yeah, what is this podcast you got?
Okay, so I wanted to do this podcast like in 2024, but then my life, like circumstances just changed everything. I lost my job and then moved to Tennessee to live with my friend, and then now I'm here. So it's about authenticity, because I feel like that's what put me on the path to become who I am today. And I just want to talk about it and talk about like host other people to talk about their experiences and what makes them them, and what makes them like what made them step into authenticity, like who they are, who they're becoming. So yeah, that's yeah. So
What I want to ask this question: what do you feel like has been in the world? Oh yeah, word. Why is everybody not authentic? What systems are in place or in the world to make people like that?
I'm like, oh my God. I've done some research on this, actually. You know, there's a loss of authenticity in this world because we're so addicted to these things right here. I mean, nobody has their own sense of style anymore. I don't know if y'all peep that. I mean, as much as somebody can say they're an individual, there's pieces they take from other people and pieces of art. And I think it's really interesting that, you know, people try to translate that into a brand. People try to translate that into like who and what they are and what their creator statement of life. That's what I like to call it. And I think one thing that we've lost is the fact that like we don't get to be individuals anymore. We're all conglomerated to one specific, whether it's your sexuality, your race, your gender, whatever, X, Y, and Z in the third. So that's my take, low-key. But I just think it's just a lot of copycat patterns, unfortunately. Let's go, Diva. My queen right there.
I feel like the human condition is rooted in safety and belongingness. We no longer are fighting saber-toothed tigers. So it's kind of like the sense of being a part of community, and like, I don't know, there's more rewards in being conformed to that, you know? I think there is more instant dopamine. There is more instant connection when you relate to people on things that maybe you're not even that passionate about, but it's kind of like it brings you closer to them. I think there's more of a risk inherently, and because of that, you have to deny your feeling or desire for safety and belongingness to even achieve that. It's a form of like, I don't know, it's almost like self-centered to be so authentic, but in a way that is like, we kind of have to embrace that as a creative, you know? So that's my take. Wait, who else? You want to take?
So my take is like, I think it depends on how you're raised as well. Like for people who are raised, I was raised very religiously, and there are like high expectations to be a certain way, and you cannot deviate from that. So I feel like culture and like family and religion sometimes can cause us to choose a path that was already designed before we were born, like from our parents, from like where we grew up. And it's hard to like break out of like that path of, you know, pleasing others, pleasing your surroundings, pleasing where you come from, pleasing your parents. And so I feel like that, for me specifically, that was like why I was like being somebody else, to try to fit this box that they had created for me. So yeah.
I think also to add on to that, it's not only our home, but in school. You know what I'm saying? Because from a young age, we're programmed to be obedient to a system that really doesn't make sense to what it means to be human. We're all inherently different, but we're put into a system where we're all getting numerical grades, and we're saying this is good, this is bad, you're going to be successful based off this, and we're not even looking at creativity as something of value. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, how are we going to be authentic if we're in a world that off rip is like, yo, some people aren't even worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? And some people are. And it's not even just the school, like your location, where you're born, where you're raised, your family, what they have, everything plays into how much you can walk in freedom in this world. And to be authentic, you have to obtain a level of freedom. And that freedom comes internal, and we forgot that. We get so caught in like the physical. Being free is not having a surplus of money. Being free is being able to speak what you want to speak. Exactly. Yes, of course.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, like, resonating with everyone, systemically, we are always going to be trying to put in boxes, and every single square that we break out of is another step towards who you are individually. So, we're all put in these shapes and we're all put in these labels, definitions where, we group people into different things, but we were never meant to be labels or definitions. We were supposed to be by our names, that's why we were named when we were born, So hopefully, coming out of this group, we can know each other by our names and not just by our labels and our definitions, and embrace that individuality. Yeah. Anyone else?
I wanted to speak a little bit. I want to add to your point. I grew up religious as well. I grew up Catholic, very, very Catholic. I'm spiritual now, so I think art is also parallel to spirituality in a lot of sense. I think when we talk about authenticity, we ultimately equate our sense of identity to the things that we have. So exactly like the stuff that we have, how much money we have in the bank, and it's easy to slip into that rigorous mentality. That's why I always joke about breaking out of the matrix. And the only way to break out of the matrix is to really create things and to I think it's also hard to be creative and to not understand that we're so messy as souls. And let us be messy. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what true raw authenticity is. It's being messy, creating art, being free, being liberated, and it's not being inherently tied to the things that you have, Yes. If you were to strip my hair, my makeup, my clothes, I know my soul. I know my heart, right? Yeah.
So then it gives me to think of another question. How can we create systems to where we can remind people of what that soul is?
I have a take. I have a take. I think the system to wait, what was your question? What was your question?
How can we create systems that remind people of that inherent quality of freedom and soul and authenticity?
I think that comes from letting each person know that whatever they got going on is it's good and it's okay. You feel me? I feel like a big part of what takes away from raw authenticity and people being themselves is this big sense of embarrassment. Sometimes people be too scared to fuck up. And it's if you pay attention to some of the best artists in the entire world, their catalog is millions and millions of pieces. There's going to be fuck ups in there. It's just about how you embrace it and how you keep going through the next one. You feel me?
I also have a take too.
I got you. I'm gonna say to that point, I think the main thing is that you have to be the change you want to see. So things like today, the event that we went to today, we are together because we went to an event where it promoted meeting other artists and just being your true self. You know what I mean? We had the labels or whatever, but we're more than the labels that we have on our paper. You know what I mean? So I think we talked about community earlier. I think building spaces where people feel welcome to just be. You know what I mean? Pull up, make something, don't make something. Views, look around, take in the art, be inspired. I think inspiration is God, and if you allow people to be inspired, you're living through people and you're living through a community, a vessel. You know what I mean? So I think that's the main thing that we have to promote and from the ground up. It's not going to be easy, but if you're willing to put yourself out there, and that's the main thing about it too. Being authentic is putting yourself out there, even though it is scary. But the thing is about being authentic is when you are authentic, people realize it, and when you're conformed, you're yo, why is this person going left and we're all going right? And deep down, they're they're not rooted out at you. They're yo, damn, they're taking the step to actually do that. That's kind of crazy. And exactly, they're damn, I can go left. Why didn't I think about that? And then so you have to take that step and just put yourself out there. You know what I mean? I think it's the first step. For real.
You practically said it. I was just gonna propose that we could start maybe an artist walk or something, go visit some art, see if we can be inspired by it, That's all I wanted to say.
To go back what he was saying, essentially a way to show up people to be authentic, to inspire them, is to be authentic yourself. It starts with you, and when you do it, it inspires people and it creates a domino effect. So it just keeps going like that. And I feel like that is important, and that was so hard for me. Like growing up, I had all these friends that I ended up losing all of them, and it came from a place of just me putting on a mask that wasn't mine to wear, I guess. And when I started to wear myself and be myself, that brought in people that also were like inspired by, oh wow, you can do this. Oh wow, how can you do this? Like this, and they would ask me. Now it's just like I just had to. I didn't have a choice at the end of the day. So it's just like once you do that, it encourages people to also be like, okay, I see what she's doing and I want to be that. How do I do that for myself? And I want to, in the podcast, show people like your authenticity doesn't have to look like her authenticity. But when you see it, it's like, okay, what is it for myself? Like going within to find out what is authentic for yourself. And that's what inspires people. That's how people start, doing it. So, yeah.
So that actually leads me. Hey, what's up, camera? That actually leads me to encourage everybody to be aware of what is happening right now, because what we're doing right now is literally being the change that we want to see. Putting this there and being able to express ourselves with our voice, we honor all of that because all of that expression is worth so much. It's worth more than gold, worth more than anything physical. And so I'm actually co-hosting an event November 26th to where it's going to be a dinner. And the reason I'm doing this is because I had an event recently where it was a lot of different things. It was a meditation, it was a short film, it was a fashion show, it was a performances, it was an artist panel where people were able to have Q&As and have so many beautiful things. However, with hosting that, I realized because I was doing this, that, and the third, I didn't have real time to connect and be like, yo, how are you, bro? Like, what are you doing? What you up to? I was like, can we put a pause in this? I gotta go do something. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that, and so, but of course it's a part of it because everybody else was able to enjoy their experience, and so there's sacrifice that comes with it. But what I'm doing on November 26th is co-hosting a dinner to where I'm having very aligned souls, and I invited people very intentionally, and this is very much aligned, and so that's why I'm bringing this up as well, because I feel that everybody here has a voice that needs to be at that table, so we're all bringing food, not everybody, but we have people already bringing food. If you guys are interested, I can send you all information. It's called Souls Giving. I would love to. Make a group chat, and I'll send, yes, I'll send all the footage, I'll edit it up, and I'll put it on there, so and I'll make sure I got everybody's Instagram, so I'll tag y'all, but I'll send you all information, and I would love to have y'all there. For real, it would be an honor. Vibes is fire. Word. And it's so crazy, wow. It's like we all want the same things. Which is love.
Yeah. I think everyone has that deep down, that feeling deep down, like just want to, I guess, and it comes back to the being accepted a little bit. Like you want to feel like you have worth. But the thing about that is like everyone does have that inherent worth. We all have a purpose. We all have something that we have to figure out. It's the fact of like allowing each other to figure that out all together. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it comes down to. And I think right now is like a good step. I think it's a really good foundation for that. You know what I mean? Real talk.
As artists, I feel like as artists, we're kind of tasked to go beyond authenticity a little bit and like embrace sincerity though. Because I feel like sincerity is what really drives society to like change and evolve, And in terms of what your question was, I kind of live by...
What would your definition of sincerity be?
It's like authenticity with like applied enthusiasm, with applied intention and direction. I feel like authenticity it's kind of ambiguous, you know what I'm saying? Like you can show up as yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean like you're showing up intentionally. And in fact, it can kind of like be the inverse sometimes. But I feel like authenticity with intention is sincerity. And I feel like sometimes we kind of lose that, Oh my God. I feel like, I kind of live by this quote that my dad told me, which is that high tide raises all boats. And I feel high tide raises all boats. And I feel like it's not systems that can bring more authenticity to people. I feel like it's allowing yourself to ride the coattails of somebody else's audacity. Kind of like the high tide that raises you closer to like yourself, you know? So I feel like systems kind of like gets in the way of authenticity because it's kind of like the two can't be in the same space. But allowing yourself to be inspired by somebody else's sincerity, by someone else's authenticity, it really allows you to get closer to yourself. When you said somebody said, when somebody's acting authentic and they're like, what is this guy doing? That gets in the way of yourself that is desirous. It's like foaming at the mouth to be more like honest and transparent and vulnerable, you know? And I think that allowing yourself just to like, I don't know, see that you want that. The person that is doing that, providing that, you want that. And you just like, I don't know, bridge the gap. Just do it, you know? Yeah.
You gotta take it.
I think that ability to be super like transparent and all of that stuff that you were mentioning, it takes a certain level of self-confidence that I think could come from the community that everybody's trying to build. Like everybody could really push each other and reassure people that, yeah, like your shit cool, your shit worth it, we like what you're doing, keep going, you feel me? Like that comes from a strong community and a strong like sense of like there's people backing me, you feel me?
Like it's super hyper individualistic. Yeah. Like we are just the byproduct of the community that we're around, that we come from. And I feel like it's crazy to think that like this hyper confidence should be born within the self. I feel like that's a very Western idea. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to it's like a faucet. You know what I'm saying? You pour into me, I pour into you.
Something we be saying in the Caribbean community, it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes a village.
Really do, and it comes with, we gotta invest in each other. You know, as artists, I feel like a lot of the times we don't really value people's art monetarily. We could be like, oh, word, your shit's cool, but that's not gonna do shit, bro. That's just the world we live in. It's gonna do shit. It's cool, like it's important, but investing monetarily, money is the currency. It's where the sea, the water, the energy flows in the current. And so if we really want to see more of this, we got to invest financially into each other. And you,
I feel like presence is a form of investment as well.
100%. And I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying that's not it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just it.
On that, but like that's the tenet that we're building on top of is presence.
100%. Yeah, the money is an expression of that presence. But that money is important in the world we live in. And I don't even want to say I wish because it's reality. I'm not going to say, you know what I'm saying?
I fucking wish it wasn't.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, because we can build a future. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, type shit.
I just wanted to like open up a question to everybody. Like, what drives your art? What drives your like passion for your craft? I feel like that's something I like to ask everybody who's kind of like a creative, because I want to see what opened you up to this? What made you think, hey, this is possible for me? I think that's a really interesting kind of thing.
I guess for me it's just like it's just kind of trying to add. I look at like all art, or at least like since I do music, like if I'm looking at just music, like I'm looking at what can I add to this that like makes it unique, like what's missing. So if there's like a certain blend of like sounds, like I want to blend like hip hop with like shoegaze with like electronic, like have I seen that before? It's like, no, I haven't really seen it done like in this specific way, so I want to like try to do that. And then it's kind of just like sitting there hammering away at it until like I'm finally like satisfied with it. Yeah, pretty much. It's just like it's just banging the hammer. And then also, yeah, I mean, I've been doing music for a long time, like probably like 10 years now. So at first it was kind of, I was just making it to like on some like therapeutic shit, like, okay, I just have some issues, like getting some ideas down. I'm like, all right, it's making me feel better. And then it wasn't really until I started, like when I got to college and I like met like my homies here and like other people and like kind of started sharing my stuff actually. And they were like, no, like your shit is like fire. And I was like, oh, okay, word. Like maybe I should try to like push this. And then it was really just like that feedback, and I started performing, and people started saying like, oh, it's really those words of like, I've never seen this before, and it kind of just planted that idea in my head of like, maybe I should take this further than just like my bedroom, and like try to actually push it far. And obviously, it's like ebbs and flows. Like I've had plenty of moments. Really, this past year has been like a lot about like recalibration within myself of like reminding myself like what got me into music and like what gave me like exactly like what gave me my original drive to like want to make albums and want to make things, you know.
I hope I'm not like hogging, but I definitely have.
You got it. Yeah, go.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but art was like the form of, or like an avenue for communication for me for a long time. And then I feel like art built more confidence for me to be able to communicate or just like articulate my ideas in a way that people could really land with them. I feel like art is definitely the form of communication, but it frees me to be able to get ideas out and really connect with people. Because at the end of the day, the reason I make art is just really to connect and really to just like, I guess to inspire, but like that's not my goal. Like if it happens, it happens. But I really just want to be able, because life is only perspective. Like that's literally what it's limited to. And if I'm able to like broaden my own through art, it would be selfish to not try and do that for others. So yeah, I would just say communication.
This is gonna take a minute to like explain.
I'm ready.
I wanted to add a little bit about that communication aspect about art. When I first immigrated to this country, I moved from the Philippines. I lived there until I was like 9, 10. And I experienced a lot of like racism and bullying when I first came to this country. And strangely enough, I don't know if it's just because I was Filipino and my grandparents were music teachers. So like music was always like orbiting my life. And I think I took it for granted when I was younger. I definitely took it for granted, like being that how it was always there, and I never like really took advantage of how freeing it actually was. But definitely like the communication aspect, like it helped me like express myself in ways that like I couldn't tap into through like English or like, you know, language. There was like a huge language barrier. And funny enough, like at like 10, 11, 12 years old, that's the only time I felt like people really saw me, like was on stage. And then people would be like, oh, you have such a great voice. Like completely like discrediting like all the other stuff, like me getting bullied, right? But I just think like music is so beautiful. And like I think I definitely took it for granted for a long time. But I'm back now. So yeah. So yeah.
I'll go. Did you want to go actually? I saw your hand. Okay. So I feel like what inspires me is just like honestly owing it to myself to embrace my existence. Like a lot of times I feel like there is like people try to tell you that there's not enough space for you to really be yourself. And I think in this day and age, we have to owe it to ourselves to sometimes be selfish. And selfish can have a negative connotation to it, but I do think a part of it is completely positive because you have to embrace who you are and keep on learning like whoever like that becomes day by day in order to truly like find community and art in general, you know? In order to create, you need to understand that like you are always changing and growing, and that is like humanity. You know, we evolve every single day trying to meet people, trying to learn, trying to embrace cultures, and to be privileged to do that, I'm like absolutely grateful. And to create art and write and take like photos of people is my favorite thing to do because I'm able to really like get to know people in that way, and not just by definition like I was talking about earlier. You know, I get to know, you know, your name, your soul, your heart, and that's something that's, you know, really I don't think embraced enough because we're so consumed by like consumerism and capitalism, where you just are kind of like a cog in a machine. And we were never meant to be just a cog, you know, we were always meant to be individuals finding community and helping each other, which is what I feel like this group is. So like just a reminder that group chat needs to be made. Yeah. I don't know. What's the name? Yeah.
Soulprint.
I kind of do want to
Put that.
Making sure it's recording. It's recording.
It's recording? Oh my god, I stopped the recording, you guys. I'm a fucking idiot. All right.
You can, what is it called, like split it or something?
Exactly, editing. You know, like, I think about it, like, day to day. I also grew up in an environment where I didn't really feel like myself. It was a predominantly, like, white town. I'm a white passing Latina, but, like, at what cost, you know? I didn't really feel myself. I didn't really feel, like, a part of anything. And I think now, you know, like, I'm grinding in grad school and I'm doing all this shit. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, it's not for anybody else but me. Like, I think that again, like with the selfish thing, like, I've grown to be very selfish in this life because I realize that all I have is myself and the things that I put out there for other people. And that's that. And, you know, like, at the end of the day, you know, I love my family, I love my friends, I love all the things that make me, my community, my village, my me. But, like, at the same time, like, all I got is this brain. All I got is the way I see the world. All I got is what I can put out there. And I think that's enough to keep me going. To keep me going enough to be like, I did something. I did something with the 4 years of education my dad busted his ass for. I did something for the extra year I'm taking to get another degree, to be somebody, to be somebody else, but to be somebody better, the best version of me. That's what my selfishness is about. I'm doing everything for this girl right here, right? And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, all this fucking grind time I'm putting into reading 48 pages a day and writing 25 pages, busting my ass, like, that's for me. That's for my legacy, and my legacy only. And even if it's not a legacy that the world sees, it's a legacy that I know I have. So that's my inspiration. Just to add to the group Kiki, you know.
I'm gonna just try to add.
For me, I kind of, my musical journey, or like my journey as an artist, or like my inspiration, I feel like growing up, I always kind of felt like alien in a sense. I always kind of felt like weirder than, like, I just kind of felt like I was always like other just my whole entire life. I kind of moved around a little bit too when I was younger too, like just around New York, so like I kind of lived in different communities. And like around the age of like 13, 14, like I started like drawing a lot more. I used to draw my whole entire life, but like I used to draw like just like very like surrealist, like fantastical things that sort of escape my reality of just like life, you know what I mean? So I think as I've gotten older and like just been creating more, I've realized that like I want to be able to just help people like feel like you're a part of something, like you're here, like we're here together, like you don't have to feel like you're so alien. We can be alien together, as a matter of fact, and go somewhere else together. So all my art pieces like kind of like revolve around like sort of like you see my art or like you listen to it or whatever it is, whatever medium it is. I'm grabbing your hand, like let's hang out together for a little bit, and you could just come with me, and we could just hang out and do whatever. You talk about anything, you know what I mean? So that's sort of like my lens sort of been, and I attribute that to these two guys here too, because like when I met them, like I wasn't making music, I was doing more videography stuff. I was still drawing, but I wasn't like in my bag creatively really, and like just having people who were sort of in the same like I guess boat as me, and like kind of allowed me to sort of just feel like I had a place to like be alien, allowed me to sort of like live in that all the way, you know what I mean? So like now, like I guess my mission is sort of just like help other people feel alien, and like we could be a group of, you know what I mean, weird individuals or whatever, like yeah. In the vein of like authenticity and like, you know, being sincere and all that, like even if you do feel like you got a couple of loose screws, it's like as long as you're not hurting nobody, we good. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of exactly. You can repurpose those. We can figure it out. Yeah.
I really like the point that you made though about like even if you feel like different and shit like that, like this is the time, this is the community for it. Like I mean, like my entire life I felt like a weird outcast. Like I was like, fuck, like why am I so strange compared to everybody else? But like it's people like this when you find your niche. Right, your tribe. That was a good one. You ate. No, like it is though. Like it is a tribe. It's a sense of community that I never felt before. You know what I mean? Like as much as like you try and like break the mold, there's always somebody looking at you like, why the fuck did you do that? But it's like, at the same time, like, why the fuck not? Why do I have to be like everybody else? Like, why do I have to acclimate to the world and how it is when I have things about me that I know are different, and I know that they're spectacular things to have. And a lot of people don't face the actual music, or they don't face the actual piece of whatever they're trying to compute into this world. I think it's just amazing. Like, I like that point. You make a community, you make a tribe, you make that connection with people that you didn't think was possible when you were a kid, bro, because you felt so fucking different, you know? But now this is the time, like, this is the space to do it.
Yeah, okay. Facts. Before you go, say where people can find you at on Instagram.
At Jordan Curls, Jordan with the A and curls like my hair. Yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to know all of you. If y'all make the group chat without me, let me know. All right.
You're a founding member, baby.
Founding member. Peace. Word. Everybody in it.
Okay, then. Here, let me see.
Can I follow you? What's your name again? Olivia?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to get
Alright, type shit. This was good. I'm happy with that. I understand, bro. Alright, type shit. I bet. I'm gonna turn the recordings off. Everybody could just say they're at Tiago, Soul, this is our Get Over It.
Justin.read12.
Amaria's Lens is my photography page. So Amaria's _lens, I think. Let me go look at it.
J.Indigo, and the O is a 0. I don't know.
Son of JoJo.
Spectrum with 2 S's. Instead of a U, it's an X.
Oh. It's _Trisha Jan _
All right, I'm gonna spell it because it's a little complicated. At Amanda Arostegui, AROSTEGUI, mind you.
My Instagram is Olivia Simone G. My email is oliviagwriter@gmail.com. My name is Olivia Garcia, just for the facts, you know.
Bet. Alright, thanks for watching. Thank you, brother. It's gonna be fire, y'all. I'm gonna make this a YouTube video.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna cut it up into clips.
Can you, yours Jay? Okay. Can you follow me?
I got you on IG now, right? Alright, bet.
You got my Instagram now.
Bet.